from another religious question from Matthew. Dear the glorious Klavan, I am a senior in college, hopefully soon to go off to grad school. I'm deeply religious. I have trouble, though, in finding a good church or organized Christian group. I find most religious groups for people my age are tailored to entertainment. So basically, he feels that he's caught between what he calls sweater vest Christianity and people, preaching damnation. And he's talked about forming his own group. And he said, P.S. I love the great good thing, and made all my friends read it, which I appreciate. First of all, I think forming your own little church, your own Christian group is a really good thing. I think that is where the Christian revival is going to come from smart people, college people, getting together and meeting, possibly if you can find a catacomb, just for the, verisimilitude of it. But I think of you guys talking out through your ideas, figuring out what you believe. In terms of finding a church, I've talked about this. I've had a hard time too. And I wound up returning to what is an Anglo-Catholic church. It's not a Catholic church in the sense that it's connected to Rome or the Pope. It has nothing to do with that, but it does have the liturgy of the church. And I'll tell you why I did that. I can't find anybody who is preaching Christianity as I think it should be preached. I can't find anybody who's saying the things that I think. Even in this church, there's kind of liberal leanings that I object to. And sometimes I just think what they're saying, they don't really preach about anything that's important sometimes. Other times there are good sermons and good people, plenty of good people at the church and all this. But the liturgy has been there for thousands of years, and it is meant to take your mind on a journey. There's a book I read, my son gave to me, called You Are What You Love by James Smith. And he talks about how going through the liturgy is like going to the gym mentally and spiritually. So when you go to the gym, you do repetitive exercises. They may not always be that fascinating. They may be a little boring, but by repeating the exercises, you strengthen those muscles. By going through the liturgy, with this new attentive attitude that I've brought to it, I find that it strengthens my Christian muscles, reminds me of what Christianity is, reminds me of what the creed is, reminds me of the journey through repentance and forgiveness and sacrifice that is at the heart of Christianity. And those things strengthen my faith. And if the guy gets up and gives a sermon I don't like, it doesn't matter. If he gets up and gives a sermon that actually is deep and hits a note that I really needed to hear, that's great. That's an added plus. So I've kind of put my faith in with the liturgy. A lot of the things that happen in my religious life happen in conversation with Christian friends. And so gathering together with Christian friends, I think, is a really important thing to do. But otherwise, the only thing I can say that has worked for me is returning to the liturgy, the ancient liturgy, with a new attitude of attention and concentration and focus on what I'm doing by going through the liturgy has really helped me find a church. And listen, the people are nice. And if you have coffee hour, maybe you'll find some smaller groups that will help you explore your faith that way.